Hi everyone, it's Mahesh Shirur. So today I'm going to explain you the centrifugal pumps of applied hydraulics model 5 continued. Okay, so introduction. So pump is a hydraulic machine which converts mechanical energy into pressure energy or hydraulic energy. Okay, so centrifugal pump, a pump which converts mechanical energy to hydraulic energy by the centrifugal action of the impeller is called as centrifugal pump or rotodynamic turbine or radial flow turbine. Okay, so it converts mechanical energy into hydraulic energy or pressure energy by the virtue of the centrifugal force. Then in this flow is radial and outer direction. It works on the principle of focused or forced vortex flow. Common use includes water, sewage, petroleum and petrochemical pumping. It is used for the commonly. Next principle, it works on the principle of forced vortex flow means which when a certain mass of a fluid is rotated by the external torque, rise in the pressure head take place. Conversion of energy occur by the virtue of two main parts of the pump, that is impeller and casing. So what is meant by impeller? Impeller converts the driver energy into kinetic energy and diffuser converts the kinetic energy into pressure energy. Okay. So this is the components of the impeller component, that is impeller of the pump, impeller, casing, suction valve, foot valve and strainer and delivery pipe. So this is the here discharge will be there and this will be the veins will be there and old casing at the outside it is called as old casing, then impeller, here it is impeller, then section I. Okay, so this is the 3D view of the pump, that is pressure side it will be here, then rotating direction of the indicator, pump casing, section slide, upstream pipe flag, impeller, vault chamber, diver shaft flag, downstream pipe flag. Okay, so a centrifugal pump has two main components, that is a rotating component composed of an impeller and a shaft and a stationary component composed of a casing cover and bearing. So rotating components. So that is nothing but impeller and shaft. The impeller is the main rotating part of the part that provides the centrifugal acceleration to the fluid. Then shaft. Its purpose is to transmit the torque encountered when the starting and during operation, support the impeller and other rotating parts. So this is the parts of that closed type of impeller and these are the vanes. Okay, and then open type of impeller, it is called as open type of impeller and vanes closed type. This is closed type and this is the open type. So stationary components. So casing. The main purpose of casing is to convert kinetic energy into pressure energy. Casings are generally of three types, that is used for high head, eddy current formed and eddy current are reduced and circular used for low head. Okay. A volt is a curved funnel increasing in an area to discharge port. As the area of the cross section increases, the volt reduces the speed of the liquid and increases the pressure of the liquid. Then vortex casing. Next one is the vortex casing. A circular chamber is introduced between the casing and the impeller, so that is efficiency of pump is increased. Okay, circular casing have a stationary diffusion vanes surrounded the impeller parapet that convert the velocity energy to pressure energy. Conveniently, the diffusers are applied to the multi-stage pump. The next one is priming. It is the process of filling section pipe, casing and delivery pipe into a delivery valve with the water. Priming used to remove air from these parts. It is consists of two parts, that is positive priming and negative priming. Positive priming, the one which speeds up processing. Negative priming, the one which slows down the processing. Then working principle of the pump. How do they work? Okay. So this is the outlet, then this is the inlet, and here the rotation will be there, vanes will be there, impeller will be there, and this is the outer part is called volt, then eye of the impeller. Okay. So liquid flows into the impeller. Here the liquid will be flowing. Then vane passes kinetic energy to the liquid. Liquid rotates and leaves the impeller, and this will be rotating and leaves it to the impeller. Volt casing converts kinetic energy into pressure. This is the volt casing that will be kinetic energy converted into the pressure energy. Okay. Then it consists of impeller rotating with a casing. So see here, this is the rotating impeller. So liquid direct, so this is the liquid that will be flowing directly into the center of the rotating impeller, is picked up by the impeller vane and accelerated to a high velocity by the rotation of the impeller and discharges by the centrifugal force into the casing. So next one is the velocity triangle in the pumps, that is the U1 initial velocity, U2 final velocity, VW2 is final velocity, and this is the U1 initial velocity, V1 initial velocity, and okay, so this is the beta angle with respect to horizontal beta, and this is alpha angle with respect to the horizontal V2, V of F2, and beta 2, V into R2. So this is the velocity of the triangle when it is be rotating with the impeller. So this will be the triangle velocity. So forward facing vanes, so if it is forward facing vanes, then this will be a velocity triangle. So 90 degree will be there, beta will always be greater than 90 degree. Then radial vanes, then beta is equal to 90 degree, and backward facing vane, that will be beta is less than 90 degree. So this is the velocity triangle for the above three diagrams for forward facing, radial vanes and backward facing. Next one is the work done. Work done by the impeller on the water is equal to W equal to W2 is equal to VW2 into U2 minus of VW1 into U1 divided by G, where W is the work done per unit weight of a water per second. VW2 is the val component of the absolute velocity of jet at outlet. V2 is the triangular velocity of the impeller at outlet. Vw1 is the whirl component of the absolute velocity of the jet at inlet. U1 is the tangential velocity of impeller at inlet. As water comes readily, guide blades angle at an inlet alpha is equal to 90 degrees, so Vw1 equal to 0, then W is equal to Vw2 into U to the divided by Z. So next one is heads in centrifugal pump. Section head, delivery head, static head, monometric head. So section head, vertical height of the center line of the centrifugal pump above the water surface to the pump from which water to be lifted. Delivery head, vertical distance between the center line of the pump and the water surface in the tank to which water is delivered. Static head, sum of the section head and delivery head. Monometric head, the head against which the centrifugal pump has to work, that is HM equal to HS plus HD plus HFS plus HFD into VD divided by 2G. So next one is the delivery pipe, then delivery valve, then casing, impeller, then this is the total head, then HD, HS, eye of pump, section pipe, sump, and this is the foot valve or strainer will be there. through this water will be entering, and it is rotating through the veins and from the impeller, and this is the casing. After rotating, it will be passing through the delivery valve. Then efficiency, monometric efficiency, that is the ratio of the monometric head to the head imparted by the impeller, that is hm divided by vw into ug divided by g, where mechanical energy is the ratio of the power delivered by the impeller to the liquid to the power input to the shaft, that is vw into vw2 into ug divided by g, that is power input to the pump shaft. Then overall efficiency is the ratio of power output of the pump to the power input of the pump or shaft, that is equal to WQ into HM divided by P, that is equal to W into HM divided by P. Characteristics of curve. These are required to predict the performance and behavior of pump working under different heads, flow rate and speed. Following are the important curves, that is main characteristic curve, operating characteristic curve, Mutual or constant efficiency curve. So this is operating characteristic curve, that is the capacity in thousands, then head versus capacity. So 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, then 0, 20, 40, 60, 80. So depending on the head, then discharge can be calculated. This is with respect to horsepower if you want, then brake power, and this is the efficiency, and this is the head you require. Okay, next one is the constant efficiency curve, that is flow rate, that is liters per second, that is, and 2 versus the total head in meters, that is 0, 10, 40, 50, 60, 80. Then efficiency in percentage, that is impeller, that is equal to, so efficiency of flow, so this diagram represents the flow rate, and this is the total head of that. From this figure you can find the efficiency of the pipe with respect to flow rate. So multi-stage centrifugal pump, okay, single centrifugal pump and multi-stage centrifugal pump. So it consists of two or more impellers. There are two types of centrifugal multi-stage centrifugal pump, that is se- series and parallel. Series to produce high head, and parallel to discharge a large quantity of a liquid. So if head is high, then you have to go for a series of a centrifugal multi-stage centrifugal pump. Then if it is discharge you want more, that is you have to put a parallel discharge for a larger liquid to flow. Series combination on the head, high head. So if you want series is, that is section here will be there, here one pump and here one pump, it will be fixed head, then there is a series. Okay, this is another one is parallel pipe of the pump, how it will be fixed here. In this, from the steel to, that is horizontal, will be water will be flowing, here impellers will be there, that will force the water. Okay, parallel combination on a high discharge. So here one pump is there, here one pump is there. This is the parallel combination of 3D view of the pump. So cavitation, it is a phenomenon of formation of vapor bubble where the pressure falls below the vapor pressure of a flowing liquid. Okay, then collapsing of a vapor bubble causes high pressure, results in pitting action on metallic surface. Then erosion, noise, and vibrating are produced. So this is the cavitation due to which will be formed in the pumps due to the water content and some impurities, high pressure, cavitation damage, and low pressure. This is the figure of how the cavitation will be formed. So if cavitation is there, then what is the effect on cavitation? Then metallic surface are damaged and cavities are formed. Efficiency of pump decreases, unwanted noise and vibrations are produced. So this is the how the pump will get destroyed. Due to this, the unwanted noise will be formed. Then thank you.